Hello students, so today we are going to read about the changes that came in Australia. This is our last module of chapter. In our previous module, we have read that how some natives were employed in farms and they were working in such hard conditions that their condition was equal to being a slave. And later how the Chinese immigrants were banned to enter or settle in Australia. So today our focus would be on what were the things that finally changed in Australia. In 1968, people were electrified by a lecture by the anthropologist W. E. H. Stanner entitled The Great Australian Silence, in which he focused on the silence of historians about the Aboriginals. From the 1970s, as was happening in North America, there was an eagerness to understand natives not as anthropological curiosities but as communities with distinct culture, unique ways of understanding nature and climate, with a sense of community which has vast bodies of stories, textile and paintings, carving skills which should be understood and recorded and respected. This means कि इससे पहले जितनी भी सारी स्टडीज़ होती थी उस पर एब ओरिजिनल्स मतलब जो नेटिव पीपल हैं वहाँ के उनको इस तरह से देखा जाता था कि दे आर जस्ट अ थिंग एंड इन थिंग्स पे मतलब जो लोग नहीं इन लोगों को बस रिसर्च के लिए यूज़ किया जाता था सो एज टू फाइंड आउट अबाउट द अर्ली सेटलर्स. लेकिन कभी भी उनको इस तरह से स्टडी नहीं किया गया था कि दे आर ऑल्सो ह्यूमन्स, दे हैव देयर ओन कम्युनिटी, दे हैव देयर ओन वैल्यूज़ विच स्टार्टेड आफ्टर 1968. Then from 1974, White Australia policy ended and Asian immigrants entries were allowed. Since then, a multiculturalism has been official policy in Australia, which gave equal respect to native cultures and to the different cultures of the immigrants from Europe and Asia. Then further, in 1992, the Australian High Court declared terra nullius, which means terra means the land and nullus means it belongs to no one. So according to the earlier policy of government, it said that the land they did not belong to anyone, so nobody can claim land. But in 1992, the rights of the natives claims to the land before 1770, which means before the arrival of the Europeans was claimed. तो पहले उनको कोई राइट्स नहीं दी गई थी कि उनके जो एंसेस्टर्स के लैंड है वो उस पर क्लेम कर सकते हैं, लेकिन 1992 से थिंग्स चेंज्ड. देन इन 1995 द नेशनल इंक्वायरी was made into the separation of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families. Then finally, there were various agitations that led to a public apology for the injustice done to the children in an attempt to keep white and colored people apart. तो जो ये इंक्वायरी की गई थी 1995 में, इसमें ये था कि जितने भी सारे एब ओरिजिनल चिल्ड्रन हैं उनको जो सेटलर्स हैं उनसे अलग किया जाए, कि जो पहले से वहाँ पे रह रहे हैं और जो अब रह रहे हैं उनको सेग्रीगेट किया जाए. बट on this injustice various agitation were done, and therefore on 26 May 1999 a National Sorry Day was observed as an apology for the children lost from the 1820 to 1970. So there was a long and anguishing history of children of mixed blood being forcibly captured and separated from their native relatives. तो जो भी if some person he or she came from Europe and then they married a native of Australia, तो जितने भी children थे जो कि प्रोड्यूस थे ऑफ द मिक्स्ड ब्लड उनको फोर्सिबली अलग किया गया था. सो फाइनली an apology was made to them. So therefore, the agitation around these questions led to inquiry and two important decisions. One, to recognize that the natives had strong historical bonds with land which was sacred to them and which should be respected, and two, that while past act could not be undone, there should be a public apology for the injustice done to children in an attempt to keep white and colored people apart, which was finally celebrated as a National Sorry Day on 26 May 1999. So in this way, we have learned about two continents in this chapter, that is the North America and Australia. So now what you have to do is that you have to write an essay on the comparative study between the two continents and how these continents actually took the shape that we see them in today. तो आपको पूरा इनका एवोल्यूशन ट्रेस करना है कि इनमें क्या क्या सिमिलैरिटीज़ थी और क्या क्या डिफरेंसेस थे. With this we end our chapter.